path of the spiritual journey, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's not all about manifestation and living your best life. It's not all about that. While, yes, we do get to live our best lives because we do so much healing that we come back into alignment with who we truly are and what our desires are. And we begin living in more integrity and in more alignment, more self-love, more confidence, more self-acceptance. We begin creating so much more safety in our body. And we do end up, living our best lives because we give ourselves that authority to literally create our life. But all of that doesn't just come. It does not just come to you. You got to work for it. And not necessarily, physical work, physical labor, but spiritual work, spiritual labor, emotional labor, somatic labor, energetic labor and healing, mental labor and healing. And the path of the spiritual journey, that is going to strip you down to your core. It is literally going to peel back every fucking layer that you have, every fucking label that you've created or you've placed on yourself or you've taken on from other people. Every label and layer, the spiritual journey is going to strip you of because it's not you, it's not in alignment. And that work is fucking hard. It is hard letting go of identities that you've always claimed to be true for you. It's hard to rewire your subconscious after it's been programmed to basically go against you and go against your heart and your desires, go against your soul. We are surrounded by limitation and negativity living in this world, living in this society, in our families, our cultures. There's so much baggage, ancestrally, globally, for generations and centuries. And there's so much energy we take on coming into this earthly plane. And, it's serious fucking work to heal and to shed. It's a lot of fucking work. I had a vision in my mind's eye of, us, our true authentic selves, and a bunch of Post-it notes, just layered for your entire life, from the moment you were born to right now, or till the moment you wake up, essentially, and realize you've been bamboozled with all of these layers and labels that were placed on you from your families, learned behavior from your families, learned programming from your families. That's where we pick up our programming that lives in our subconscious, which is 95% of your brain, by the way. We have 5% of conscious awareness. 5%, when 35% of your mind is running automatically on automatic programming, your subconscious. And this automatic programming that lies under your awareness, that is what creates your life. That is what creates your reality. And so these labels, these beliefs, these thought patterns, everything that we've learned from our families and our cultures and our societies from the day we were born, that all lives here. And so if you were lucky enough to grow up in a very healthy family dynamic with very loving, confident parents who knew how to love themselves and knew how to love you, and you grew up in that beautiful environment, then you got a little bit of a head start with this game of life. But for a lot of us, me included, we grow up in these dysfunctional family dynamics that give us improper programming. And a lot of that, a lot of this programming stems from unworthiness, not enoughness, being unlovable, having to perform to receive love, having to do something, accomplish something, be productive in some way to receive rest or receive achievement or receive love. We have so much fucking going on in our subconscious. And if you grew up in a home where maybe a parent died and that trauma didn't resolve, you didn't know how to resolve it, and you shoved it, you repressed it away, and you picked up these certain patterns or certain beliefs based on that experience, that lies in your subconscious. Or maybe you had parents that got a divorce, and maybe from that experience you have the belief of, or you learned the belief of, I must not be worthy of having lovable, like it must be my fault. Like maybe I'm not worth having lovable parents or a healthy family dynamic. I'm the problem. Something's wrong with me. And that initiates unworthiness, not enoughness, unlovableness, and all of these family dynamics, right? Even in school, if you were bullied or picked on, then you've grown into the belief that you're the problem. And all of these meanings, all of these associations we pick up and we store it in our subconscious mind, and we literally live off of that programming until we become aware, until we have a spiritual awakening where we realize that we are actually the creator of our life and we get to decide how we want to live. The path of the spiritual growth journey, or the journey of spiritual growth rather, it's all about unlearning, shedding every fucking thing that was put on you that does not align, which takes fortitude and strength and bravery and courage, like consistently, because it's a process of unraveling all of the shit that was placed on you. And so this journey, the spiritual growth journey, it's really about healing and coming back to who you are, uncovering who you've always been. But there's been so much noise, right? So many labels, so many beliefs that aren't yours, so many thought patterns that aren't yours, all this negativity that's not yours that you've welcomed in unconsciously. And that's what takes you out of alignment from who you are truly. Not everyone has this awareness. Not everyone is going to find this video because they're not on that wavelength. They don't have that higher awareness. And, at times I do miss, knowing nothing. I do miss just having an average life because it's easier, it's more comfortable. But then it's also not very fulfilling. It's not very fulfilling. Being in your comfort zone, being in your comfort zone, essentially. Like, yeah, it's nice, but at some point, there's an aching inside of, the ones who are meant for more. There's an aching. And even your comfort zones will become uncomfortable because you've outgrown it and you're meant for more. And, this journey forces you to go out into the unknown and be uncomfortable and, learn who the fuck you are and learn what you do want and learn how to create what you do want. Learn how to communicate with your subconscious and make that a practice of constantly, not constantly, well, constantly until it becomes natural. But in the beginning, it is a constant process of, reprogramming, healing, tending to your body, your nervous system, your mind constantly. And then eventually, these behaviors and these thought patterns, these beliefs that we reimprint into our minds, they become natural. They become automatic because the subconscious works automatically. And so if we want to change the faultiness of it and we want to upgrade the programming so that way we experience a different reality, then, we have to upgrade with new thoughts, new patterns, new visions, new feelings of how we want to feel, And that takes effort. That takes work. But it eventually pays off, because then you'll notice that you've actually accomplished the things that you've wanted to. And you actually notice that you love yourself genuinely, and you're accepting yourself, and you're creating more safety in your body. You feel more safe in your body, and more peace and more calm. You notice peace and calm will begin to come, and life just feels more aligned because you've been working so hard. And that is the work, you know? And obviously, manifestation and living your best life, those come as a byproduct as you work towards yourself. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It really isn't. This journey is wow. This journey is sacred and deep. It's fucking deep. If you're on this journey as well, I commend you. I send you love and light, because we all need it on this journey. And strength. This journey is not for the faint of heart. So if you have been chosen to come on this path, know that you are meant for so much more. You have so much strength in you that you don't even realize. You're one of the special ones. So honor that.